Blackwell Junior High Maroons.
Folks, if you're just now tuning in, we are fixing to start introductions for this junior high matchup where the Guthrie Bluejays are in Blackwell taking on the Blackwell Maroons. We're going to run through these junior high introductions, and then we will get this first duel kicked off, followed by the junior high is going to be the high school boys. No girls are traveling tonight as Blackwell does not have a girls wrestling team, or if they do, not much of one, so our girls stayed home. And we're just going to duel the junior high and high school tonight. I'm going to check out for just a second so you can watch these introductions, and we'll pick back up shortly.
Guthrie, Kenny Richardson for Blackwell, Dave Leval. 132 Guthrie, Kate Carey for Blackwell, Tanner Ward. 140 Guthrie, Hayden Macy for Blackwell, Mason Young. 155 Guthrie, Trevor Graves for Blackwell, Ryder Short. 170 Guthrie, Dave Henson receives a forfeit. 195 Guthrie, Zakiah Akerson for Blackwell, Cooper Ward. 285 Guthrie, Tyler Bradford for Blackwell, Matt Ginger. Head coach Guthrie, Parrish Pierce, assisted by Caleb Gibson. For Blackwell, head coach Tyler Shin, assisted by Justin Billingsley. Tonight's referee, Jerry Kuntz.
All right, folks, we are fixing to get things kicked off tonight inside Blackwell's high school gymnasium as we get things going here. Referee Jerry Kuntz is in the house. You can see him there on the left of your screen. Jerry has been around Oklahoma wrestling for the better part of a long time, I guess I would say. But going to be in good hands tonight with Jerry on the mat as we are going to forfeit the first match. Guthrie's going to pick up 6 points for the team. And officially, we're going to start off at 86 pounds. As we start this duel at 86 pounds.
Caden Hall from Guthrie for Blackwell, Ryland Sandoval.
Caden Hall for Guthrie. And we get it kicked off here. Heavy collar ties there by Sandoval as he goes for a head inside cradle. He's going to tip it up here. Looking for near fall. He's got 3 for the takedown. And he's trying to finish here as Caden Hall able to escape that. Sandoval's going to let him go. Working here for a big-time fireman's carry. That's going to be another 7-point takedown, folks, with this new scoring system. Points are going to rack up really quick. It was 7 for the first takedown. Caden was able to get up, get an escape for 1, and then that's going to be even more. 3 points for the takedown and 4 points for the near fall. Looks like the first near fall, he only received a 3 count. So current score is 13-1. As now Sandoval back on top, running that chicken wing. He's going to scoop it up for the fall, and that's going to be 6 more points. Or I guess 6 initial points for the Maroons junior high. And that's going to tie the duel now currently 6 points to 6 points. As we go now for the junior high, next weight's going to be 92 pounds. And I believe the junior high is going to run out Guthrie's going to run out Levi Potter.
Levi Potter for Blackwell. Jax Keeney.
And Jax Keeney for Blackwell. Quick takedown by Keeney. Levi Potter now on bottom trying to post up. Chicken wing roll through. Going to get this tilt. We saw a lot of this last year from Blackwell. A couple of years ago they ran a lot of legs, and last year it was chicken wing city, and looks like we are back to more of that. As he draws that chicken wing bar arm. Can't score twice with the same move. So he was able to get a couple of near fall points from that position. Can't see it here, but his back has to be at 45 degrees in order to get near fall. So Levi Potter must be doing a good job of keeping his shoulder parallel to the mat. But Jerry Kuntz just counted 4, so that's going to be 4 points awarded to Keeney as Levi Potter trying to squirm his way back on top, but now gets himself parallel. And this is looking like it could be trouble for Levi Potter. As we've got a half Nelson here sunk in. Levi's trying to keep his legs inside, trying to keep the hips of Jax Keeney up so that his shoulders don't go down. Levi doing a good job fighting here, but Keeney relentless on top here with plenty of time. There's 45 seconds left to go. If Keeney walks that arm towards Levi Potter's head, it's going to spell trouble. Levi's using that arm to post, but now Keeney's pulling that elbow forward, and now there's going to be trouble here. Can't see it from Jerry Kuntz's position, but Levi's fighting so hard, but now we're getting those legs spread out to a grapevine, and Keeney picks up the fall. That's going to be 6 more points for the Maroons. That's going to put them up 12-6. Blackwell out to a 2-fall start, and the 2 matches wrestled. Garrett Liggins for Blackwell is going to pick up a forfeit.
Guthrie, Ryan Gerard receives a forfeit. 112, Zane Seifert receives a forfeit.
Couple more forfeits. Zane Seifert picks up a forfeit there. Ryan Gerard right before him. Garrett Reese for the Blue Jays is going to pick up a 3rd forfeit. This is going to run the score up for the Blue Jays. It's 16 points for every forfeit they give up. It's equivalent to a fall. And now finally we're going to make our way up to 126 pounds. Where Kenny Richardson of the Blue Jays is going to take on Dode Loval for the Maroons of Blackwell.
126 pounds, Guthrie, Kenny Richardson for Blackwell, Dave Loval.
And back to action here as Loval of the Maroons is taking on Richardson, who goes in for a single leg. Really tried like a knee pick, but now gets caught on his back here. In all kinds of trouble. 3 points for the takedown. Jerry Kuntz in the camera angle for us. And now he's out of the way, and we're seeing Loval not in a good way here. As he goes for that knee pick, gets caught on his back, and Loval catches him for the pin. That's going to be 6 more points for the Maroons, which is going to tie this duel. It's been all bonus up to this point.
132 pounds, Guthrie, Cade Carey for Blackwell, Tanner Ward.
Moving on now to 132 pounds. Cade Carey for the Blue Jays is taking on Tanner Ward. As they go in for the hand ties here. Cade Carey working to get his wrist clear as Tanner Ward doing a good job just tying up wrist. Cade Carey with a double leg. Tanner Ward with a sprawl. Able to get his legs back out as they go back in. Now double unders with a front head tie. Snap down here out of the front headlock. Cade Carey goes for the neck whip. Now Ward in for a big double leg, and he picks up 2. It's going to be 3 points for Tanner Ward. Sorry, takedown's now worth 3 points. And all year I've been getting that wrong. Going to be 3-0 now for the Maroon as he goes to work on top. He's got the bar arm, and there he's working for that chicken wing. As these Blackwell Maroons are known to do. Carey doing a good job getting to his base. It's harder to run chicken wings when you're on your knees. But Tanner Ward knows what to do here, obviously, but now getting loose, trying to get out on the edge. Nice work there by Cade Carey. The new rules allow you to wrestle out of bounds a little bit as long as one of the two wrestlers has some piece of themselves in bounds. They are allowed to wrestle out of bounds. And so that rule there favored Cade Carey as he was able to scramble on the edge and get out. And now Ward in on a single leg as they scramble here. Cade Carey took a break there to adjust his headgear. Allowed his hips to get elevated, which is not good for Carey. Carey's got to keep those feet. He's got to pull those ankles and keep those feet on his butt so that Ward can't cut angles and can't move. But now Ward's trying to pull his head out. Cade Carey's keeping that ankle, and that's going to be 3 points at the whistle. 3 points by Jerry Kuntz, and that's going to be awarded by Jerry Kuntz, and that's going to be a 6-1 lead for Tanner Ward going into the second period. Mr. Kuntz going over to check whether it is an odd or even call. So in duels, there is not a coin flip. What they do is before the match, there's one coin flip, and it decides who is odd and who is even throughout the match, throughout the matches. So the odd number matches, so like 1, 3, 5, those numbered matches will get their call in the second, or get their choice in the second period, and the evens would be 2, 4, 6, and 8. That'll be them. Cade Carey now with a lazy ride on top. He's got the ankle. He's going to hook that ankle and try to elevate it, which makes it hard for the bottom guy to really move. It takes away his mobility. Oftentimes breaks him down to his stomach like you're seeing here. Carey getting a little high as Tanner Ward starts to go to work. Inside leg stand-up is a good way to stop that. And Carey does a nice job of breaking him back down, bumping the hip with a spiral. Looks like he's trying to put a leg in on the far side. But now he's back to work on a heavy spiral. He's got a cross face and a far arm, and now he's trying a bar arm of his own. Cade Carey's been known to run chicken wings, so he's trying to hook that up. Tanner Ward doing a nice job fighting hands underneath. As Cade Carey back on that lazy ride, able to elevate it and using that to break down Tanner Ward. Now he's got a half on that far side. He's running that. Tanner Ward postures out, which is nice. Able to stop that. And now Cade Carey doing a good job on top, just staying busy. Tanner Ward surviving. Goes right back to that inside leg stand-up. Cade Carey driving hard, keeping a lot of pressure. You can see him pushing a lot with those legs. That's allowing him to stay on top. Tanner Ward able to get to his feet and get out of bounds for a fresh start as Cade Carey comes back in on top. As the Guthrie Bluejay is trailing 1-6 over the Maroons' Tanner Ward. Back to action here in the second period with 15 seconds to go. Tanner Ward gets to his feet. Cade Carey tries to hang on. And a big 1-point escape for Tanner Ward. That's going to keep his lead 7-1 now. Cade Carey getting busy, shoots a double. Going back in on deep high C, trades off to a double at the whistle. Not enough time to get the 3. But the Guthrie crowd liking what they're seeing there out of a busy Cade Carey. It's going to be his choice, and the Guthrie coaches are going to put him down. Cade Carey's going to have to get to work here with an escape and probably a couple of takedowns to get back in this match. Big lift, and there's a big reversal. Cade Carey back on top. He gets 2 for the reversal. Now he's got a cradle locked up. This is big time if he can get near fall. Near fall. Now he can try to go for the pin, but Ward is trying to grab the head now for the reversal. Not quite. Big time reversal. A lot of action here in the third. Cade Carey now to his feet, trying to get out of bounds, get an escape. That's 1. Folks, we got a match now. It's 6-11. I believe that's an unofficial score as these guys get to work.
Move it, Cade! Get to it! Get moving! Back in hands!
Score 6-11, not 9-8. Cade Carey now with a big double leg takedown. That's going to be good for 3. That's going to be good for 3. Trying to figure out points here, and it looks like Cade Carey now is up 9-11. That near fall got him back in this match, was able to get away. There's 31 seconds to go. Cade Carey up over Tanner Ward by 2. And now Carey going to work on this inside bar arm. He's got the bar arm, not really going for the chicken wing, really just got to stay on top here. Tanner Ward's got to find a way to get out and get to work on top. He needs a reversal. He needs some type of a takedown. 1 point escape's not going to work with 5 seconds left to go. Cade Carey from behind win is going to pick up 3 more points for the Blue Jays in what was the most exciting match so far of the night. Hats off. Cade Carey come behind win, and good job Tanner Ward making this match exciting. Off to a quick early lead was Tanner Ward with 2 takedowns, and then Cade Carey slowly battles back in the second and really makes a statement in the third to bring that match home. What an exciting night here in Blackwell. Moving on to 140 pounds. Quick back to action start here. The Blue Jays are wrestling Aiden Macy. Macy now here caught on his back, trying to work his way off as he gave up 3 for the takedown, and now trying to get that inside arm out as Mason Young for the Maroons trying to pick up the fall here. As Macy able to get off his back as we get back to work here on bottom, and there they go for that. There we're going for that chop arm. There's a half on the far side. Macy doing a good job posturing away from that, but now his outside arm, his left arm is caught in a chicken wing, and on the right side he's caught in a half. Mason Young is working hard here on top with that inside bar arm. Technically has an illegal bar arm on the far side, but Jerry Kuntz not in a spot to see it. And now there's the half on that far side, and this is tight. There's 45 seconds left to go, and this is not looking good for Aiden Macy as Mason Young trying to pick up the fall here as he's going to try to sit out, and that's going to force the shoulders of Aiden Macy to the mat. But Macy, to his credit, he's posting his inside elbow, and he's trying to work that arm out. You can see it in the camera. His shoulder is slightly up, which is keeping him from getting pinned. Just an uncomfortable position, but no quit here. And Aiden Macy, as Mason Young has done everything right in trying to pick up this fall, and Aiden Macy not letting that happen. We're down under 10 seconds now in this first period. And Mason Young trying to get the fall, but it looks like Aiden Macy is going to survive here with 2 seconds to go. As Mason Young picks up a takedown, 4 near fall, and 7 points to 0 as we start this second period. Now this second period choice is going to go to Blackwell. Mason Young's going to pick bottom. Aiden Macy on top, down 0. Looks like 0 to 11. Two sets of near fall were given. Things will rack up really quick here. He stands up, gets away, grabs that bottom leg, and just makes it tough for Macy then to escape. And now he's back on bottom. 2-point reversal, 13 to 0. There's the half. Same pinning combination he had earlier. He's trying to run that chicken wing in half, and now he's got this half in deep. A little bit better position here for Mason Young on top. Able to get those hips down and pick up the fall. That's going to be 6 more points for Blackwell Maroons. Moving on to 155 pounds. Trevor Graves is going to step on the mat for the Blue Jays. I'd like to give a shout out to his dad. I know he's at home watching tonight. Wasn't able to make the trip, but happy that he's able to watch here on the Guthrie News page. As Trevor takes on Ryder Short from the Maroons. Picks up a quick takedown for 3. Trevor right back to his feet. And now Short gets to work on top. Running that bar arm. Look for that to get turned into a chicken wing. There's the far side half. We saw it the last period, or I guess the last match. Now to a 3-point lead is Ryder Short over Guthrie's Trevor Graves. And we move into minute and 30 to go in the first period. Just trying a little bar arm tilt here. A little bit loose, not able to get it, but he gets right back on that bar arm. And he's going to, looks like he might be trying to roll through tilt here if he can get it. Trevor's trying to peel the far hand. You can see it here as he rolls through. Not able to get the tilt. Trevor took the momentum with him. He's going to roll through a second time. Trevor tried to roll through that time, not able. Looks like Ryder Short picked up 2 near fall. Now he can't get that till he lets go of the hold. And that chicken wing got to potentially dangerous. When his arm goes across the back, it has to stay at 90 degrees. If it goes up just slightly, then it's a potentially dangerous hold. It works against the joint of the shoulder. Referee has to stop it immediately. Now Trevor Graves to his feet on the whistle. Ryder Short able to break him back down, goes right back to that inside bar arm. Graves doing a better job keeping his arm straight this time. And there's the chop. He's going to pull that back for a chicken wing. There he caught it. They chop with the left, catch with the right, chicken wing to cover with the left, and now he's to the half on the far side. Been sort of a signature for Blackwell these last couple of years. Just bar arms and chicken wings. Now he's running that chicken wing up. He's caught the far arm. This is not good for Trevor Graves, and that is a fall for Ryder Short as he picks up 6 more for the Blackwell Maroons. This duel now 36-27 as the Blackwell Maroons out in front. They're going to give up a forfeit here to Dane Henson of Guthrie, and that's going to put 6 more on the board for the Blue Jays. And now the Blue Jays are going to march out Zakiah Akerson.
195 pounds, Guthrie, Zakiah Akerson for Blackwell, Cooper Ward.
Big double-A takedown here for the for the Maroons. And that's going to spell trouble for Zakiah Akerson. Cooper Ward on top now here at 195 pounds, looking for the fall. He's got the Blue Jays in all kinds of trouble here. Trying to get the fall. Zakiah fighting hard here, but Cooper Ward on top, making this a tough out as he gets the fall before the graphics come up. And another 6 points for the Maroons. As we move on to the big boys at heavyweight, 285 pounds. Kyler Bradford for the Blue Jays is going to be taking on Matt Yinger of Blackwell.
285, Guthrie, Kyler Bradford for Blackwell.
As the current score of the duel's 42-33, the Maroons will win this junior high duel. Regardless of the outcome of this match, these boys will get after it. Kyler Bradford for the Blue Jays versus Matt Yinger of Blackwell. Trying an underhook. He's going to try to throw that by and get the leg. Not able to do that. Kyler Bradford able to circle up and fight inside ties here. Both these big boys fighting hard, but now Matt Yinger able to pull the head down. He's got an underhook. He's going to try just a throw by here as he whips him down to the mat with a big-time underhook. Throws it a lot like a headlock. Not really a lat drop, more of an underhook headlock type throw. And he puts Kyler Bradford to his back, picks up the fall. 6 more points for the Maroons. And that's going to be your final score of this junior high matchup. Blackwell Maroons 48 over the Guthrie Blue Jays 33.
Your Blackwell Junior High Maroons 48.
And that's going to do it for the junior high matchup. And now, folks, we're going to have a timeout here for a little bit, and I'll come back in and do a preview. Like I say, tonight there's not going to be any girls matchups. The Guthrie Blue Jays have probably, 15, 20 girls on the roster. Normally they wrestle about 10 matches or so, sometimes 10 to 15 matches, depending on the team. work on a few of these graphics here. And anyway, so the Maroons don't have a girls team, so there's not going to be any competition here. However, Blackwell is celebrating their, I believe, I'm not sure what they call it, maybe like their homecoming. So there's going to be some festivities here while we wait on the high school to get going. Probably closer to 7 o'clock is when that duel will start. I'm going to put this on pause. We will just leave it on the graphic. I'll come back in about 15 minutes and do a preview for you guys once the festivities in-house have kind of settled down and me talking won't interrupt things. We'll, while the boys are out here warming up for their matches, we will do a preview for that junior high duel. It's going to be exciting one. Number 1 in 3A is the Blackwell Maroons, going to be taking on number 5 in 5A and the Guthrie Bluejays. Should be an exciting duel. Blackwell loaded roster, a lot of ranked guys to talk about, and Guthrie's got a few of their own, so it should be a fun one. Folks, I'm going to check out here momentarily, and I will be back in about 15 minutes. So just enjoy the views of their homecoming, and we'll be back shortly. Did that last week. It's got to be something on my end. Don't you think? Okay, so walk me through it real quick. I'm on a break. So I'm on Google Sheets. I got to go to Google Drive, correct? Google Drive. In 2023, I think I dragged these onto mine. This is something I should have done earlier, huh? It says my preview is unavailable. Maybe I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. Google Drive, commercials, team. Oh, so do I do like match scoreboard, logos, all that stuff? I don't do commercials, right? So match scoreboard, go down to Blackwell. Okay, I remember how to do all this. Yep. I think I. Yep. I'll go. So once I get to VMix, I got to reload all of them, or just. Right. Oh, I got you. Gotcha. So I'm on, hold on. Sorry, I'm doing this out loud. So I need to go down to just not match scoreboard, not school logo. Do I need to do school logos? Not have scoreboard, not team scoreboard, not just the welcome is the only one I need, correct? So match scoreboard, team scoreboard. Okay, let me work on this and then I'll haul if I got any questions. All right, sorry. Yep. Team half scoreboard, Blackwell. Download that. buddy. Right out this door and to the left. Right, they're right. I think they're right there. Right underneath that big black. Yeah. To the left. That's match scoreboard. So I need match scoreboard. Really good. He signed with OSU. Normally I would say go out there and, get play with it, but it's kind of like what is he saying? This is where we're at. Have the Blackwell logo fits in the folder. Did you find it, buddy? You say that. I don't know if he's going to coach him the way we do. But he does pay attention in practice, though. Match school team. You guys have fun at the duel? The LSU duel. I didn't know that. So is this team match scoreboard? Regular team scoreboard. We got one every match. We won one match. Team regular score. That's team half. Team regular scoreboard. Yeah, Kate, there's 6 o'clock. School logos, Blackwell. Team half scoreboard. Regular scoreboard. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. Help it, Jaden.
Welcome to Blackwell Coronation 2024-2025. Tonight's first sophomore attendant is Miss Tinley Ward Clark. She is the daughter of Stacy Ward and Casey Clark. Her grandparents are Bill G. Ward. She's attended Blackwell schools for her entire education. Her activities include band for 2 years, cheer for 1, pep club for 1, student council for 2. Her accomplishments are the superintendent's honor roll. In the red carpet honor band for 2 years, she placed second place in the interscholastic for English. She is also this year's wrestling attendant. Leadership, she's been a student council representative. She attends Dark Methodist Church as a nursery volunteer. Her future plans are to attend OSU or NOC and major in kinesiology. Her escort tonight is Mr. Matt Edgar. His parents are EJ and April Edgar. His grandparents are Jim and Regina Jackson, Jerry and Diane Hill, and Bob and Nancy Edgar. He has attended Blackwell schools for his entire education. He has been involved in wrestling for 2 years, FCA for 2 years. His accomplishments, last year placed 3rd place at the state tournament as a freshman. This year he is a sophomore escort. He attends Emmanuel Baptist Church, and his future plans are currently undecided. Our next sophomore attendant is Miss Lexi Landwehr. She is the daughter of Aaron Smith and Ryan Landwehr. Her grandparents are Krista Parker, Lita, and Mike Landwehr. Activities, cheer for 2 years, pep club for 1 year, softball for 2 years. Her honors are including this year's wrestling attendance. Her future plans are currently undecided. Miss Lexi Landwehr. Escorting Lexi is Mr. Garrett Short. Garrett's parents are Jessica Short and Josh and Megan Short. His grandparents are Erica Bell, Mike Bell, Reagan and Maggie Hutchison, Wayne and Sherry Short. Before attending Blackwell last year, he attended Ponca schools for his entire education. His activities include wrestling for 2 years. Last year, he was a regional champion and a state placer. His honors include this year's sophomore escort. He attends or helps with the Deering House as a volunteer. His future plans are to attend OSU or UCO and major in business. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Garrett Short. Tonight's junior attendant is Miss London Lawrence. She is the daughter of Candace Lawrence and Aaron Sanford. Her grandparents are Vanessa Johnson, Danny Johnson, and Libby Sanford. She's attended Blackwell schools for her entire education with Tonkwall for 1 year. Her activities include basketball for 1 year, pep club for 3 years, student council for 3 years, yearbook for 1 year, and a wrestling manager for the past 2 years. Her accomplishments are in art, foundations for 2D and 3D. This year, she's a wrestling attendant. For leadership, she's been a representative in student council. Her future plans are to attend NOC and major in fine arts with a future career in interior design. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss London Lawrence. Her escort tonight is Mr. Grant Wade Rao. He is the son of Whitney and Tyson Rao. His grandparents are Trudy Rao and Brenda and Rick Adams. He's attended Blackwell schools for his entire education. His activities include ag for 3 years and wrestling for 3 years. Accomplishment, he is a 2-time state placer. Last year, he was our state runner-up. His honors include being a sophomore escort this year. He attends Emmanuel Baptist Church. His future plans are to attend OSU or NOC and major in agricultural business or agronomy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Grant Rao. Our next junior attendant is Miss Lainey Letterman. She is the daughter of Shannon Letterman and the late Cassie Letterman. Her grandparents are Sally Letterman, Ronnie Letterman, and Susan Stafford. Her activities include basketball for 1 year, pep club for 2 years, track for 2 years. This year, she is a wrestling attendant. She attends Emmanuel Baptist Church. Her future plans are to attend OSU and major in sports medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lainey Letterman. Escorting Lainey is Mr. Neely Ward. His parents are Brant and Blaine Ward. He's a grandson of Bill and Jean Ward, Greg Turner, and Debbie Turner. Schools attended DCLA for 9 years, Blackwell for 2 years, and Pioneer Votech for welding for the past 1 year. His activities include ag for 1 year, wrestling for 3 years. Accomplishments, he's been a member of the 2023 dual state team and the state wrestling champs as a team. Art, his major accomplishments, first place team in the junior ag mechanics at NOC. This year he is a junior escort. He attends Northern Methodist Church. His future plans are to attend NOC. He is undecided, but will most likely complete a welding program at Pioneer Votech. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Neely Ward. The first senior attendant tonight is Miss Brooklyn Ray. She is the daughter of Jeff and Jenna Ray. Her grandparents are Peggy Lucas and the late Fred Lucas, the late Roy Ray, Sharon Ray Reeves, and Lloyd Reeves. She attended Blackwell schools for the past 7 years, but before that, Verticus for 7 years. Her activities include girls' state, newspaper for 1 year, pep club for 3 years, softball for 4 years, and as a baseball manager for the past 2 years. Accomplishments, as a freshman was a softball state qualifier, Tulsa All-World Honorable Mention. As a junior, softball All-District, and as a senior, softball All-District and All-Region. This year, she is a wrestling attendant. Her future plans are to attend NOC to play softball and to major in mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Brooklyn Ray. Tonight, her senior escort is Mr. Loudon Wolf. He's the son of Jamie and Kyle Wolf. His grandparent, Thomasine Wolf. Schools attended would be Blackwell for his entire education. His activities include ag and wrestling. His accomplishments, team wrestling, 2023 dual state champs, and the 2023 team state champs, 22 and 23 state placer, and 2024 individual state champion. Loudon has also been on the skeet shooting team for the past 2 years. Last year, he was a junior escort, and before that, a sophomore escort. He is a student council representative and a sergeant at arms. He attends Norton Methodist Church. His future plans are undecided. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Loudon Wolf. Our next senior attendant is Miss Gabrielle Bennett. Her parents are Cody and Tiffany Bennett. Grandparents are Terry and the late Roger Rao, the late Max and late Rose Bennett. She attended Blackwell schools, and before that, Peckham schools. Her activities include bank board, pep club for 2 years, softball for 3 years, and she is currently a softball manager. She was a softball manager and a baseball manager. She's been in 4 years of art. She is a attendant for wrestling, for community service. Tara's game helper, and she attends First Free Will Baptist Church. Her future plans are to attend USAO and major in communication. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gabby Bennett. Escorting Gabby is Mr. Jason Osgood. He is the son of Lance Osgood and Skylar Osgood. His grandparents are Max Courtney, Lynn Courtney, Rayanne Osgood, and Terry Osgood. He's been in ag for 3 years, baseball for 2 years, football for 2 years, wrestling for 4 years. He's been a member of the 2023 and 24 state champion wrestling, and he also received the Rock Award. He was also last year's state champion. Jason's future plans are undecided. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jason Osgood. Now, will you please stand as we honor our 2025 Wrestling Queen and King. Tonight, let's meet our flower girl, Miss Hazel Grace Wooderson. Her parents are Guy and Hannah Wooderson. Her grandparents are Jason and Amy Morrill, Jeff and Carla Hunsaker, and Bruce and Tamla Wooderson. Hazel is in Mrs. Brown's pre-K class. She enjoys drawing and coloring. She wants to be a cheerleader when she grows up. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hazel Grace Wooderson. Our crown bearer tonight is Mr. Weston Smith. His parents are Ben and Amy Smith. His grandparents are Greg and Janet Green, Craig and Tamara Brown, and Doug McKinney. He's in Mrs. Perry's pre-K class. He enjoys riding his horse and his four-wheeler. He wants to be a police officer when he grows up. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Weston Smith. Our 2025 Wrestling Queen is Miss McKenna Smith. She is the daughter of Ben and Amy Smith. Her grandparents are Greg and Janet Green, Craig and Tamara Brown, and Doug McKinney. She's attended Blackwell schools for her entire education. She's been in ag for 4 years, cheer for 2 years, pep club for 4, student council for 4, softball for 1. Her major accomplishment is the Reserve National Livestock Judging Team. She was a wrestling attendant last year and this year's queen, and a softball attendant. She is the vice president of ag, the vice president of student council, and her future plans are to attend OSU and major in ag business. Ladies and gentlemen, our queen, Ms. McKenna Smith. Tonight's wrestling king is Mr. Cruz Golf. He is the son of Haley Golf. His grandparents are King and Claudia Golf. He's attended Blackwell schools for his entire education. He's been in ag for 4 years, football for 2 years, student council for 1, wrestling for 4, and is a member of GATS. He is a 3-time wrestling state champion. He is nationally ranked number 9 at 215 pounds. And he is the number 6 pound for pound wrestler in the state of Oklahoma. His honors also include being a sophomore escort. He is a student council president. He is a member of the Silverdale Community Church. His future plans are to attend Oklahoma State University, where he has received a full ride scholarship in wrestling. And his plans are to attend veterinary school. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cruz Gall.
All right, folks, if you have been chiming in, the Blackwell homecoming ceremonies just came to an end following the junior high wrestling duel. If you're just starting out with us tonight, we are going to do a preview of the high school duel to come. Junior high fell short to Blackwell. The Guthrie Junior High fell short to Blackwell. I believe somewhere... Do we remember that score? 40-something to 30-something. Blackwell won the majority of the matches, I believe all but one, and then they had several forfeits. Didn't have a full roster tonight, but looked well when they wrestled. Guthrie Bluejays fought hard as well, and just followed up with the homecoming ceremonies. And now looks like parents are going to get some pictures, and we are going to give our high school boys a chance to warm up. I'm assuming 10 minutes or so of warm-up, because obviously they have not had a chance to get on the mat yet. And so while they are finishing up here, I will try and keep you entertained as we do a bit of a preview. And I will switch things over to my ugly mug for the moment. And if you're just tuning in, the Blackwell Maroons are going to host a wrestling duel tonight against the Guthrie Bluejays. To note, the Blackwell Maroons finished second last year at state. and they did not graduate many because this year they are currently ranked number 1 in 3A with a projected 160 points. The next best projection would be Marlow, last year's state champion at 94. So clearly Blackwell is the perennial favorite to win the state title this year in 3A. And they have wrestled thus far this year. They got a stacked lineup with 12 wrestlers ranked in the top 5 in 3A. And 5 of those wrestlers are ranked number 1 in the state at 3A. And at 215 pounds, Cruz Golf is the best wrestler in the state of Oklahoma. So they have a stacked powerhouse team, and it's going to be a handful for the Blue Jays tonight. And Blackwell has been, I just want to give them a shout out for being such a wonderful, wonderful host. They have allowed me to set up right beside the mat and let us hook into power. We got Wi-Fi. Their coach has been awesome, and we really, really appreciate everything that they're allowing us to do. And like say, with a class act team like Blackwell, there is a lot of good things going on here. Their program is booming. They got a brand new wrestling mat. Let me switch back over to this so you guys can see this lovely wrestling mat they got brand new. Tonight's the second duel. They've had one duel on this thing so far, and this is the second one. They also just remodeled their wrestling room, and so that is also awesome to hear. Anytime there are improvements in wrestling in the state of Oklahoma, we want to commend that. So hats off to the Blackwell community for getting behind their wrestling program here. And I know that Coach was very appreciative. He was showing it off when I came in. Before he let me set up, he wanted to show off all the new stuff and show me the new mat, and I know he is very excited for that. So anyway, Blackwell ranked number 1 in 3A. They're going to take on, or actually Guthrie is coming to town. That's our Blue Jays, and we are currently ranked number 5 in 5A with 52 points. We're tied with Grove, Oklahoma. Both teams ranked number 5, and we have 5 wrestlers ranked in the top 10. And we've got a couple guys ranked number 2. Caden Herending has been ranked number 1 all year. Dropped in rankings after a loss, but I believe if you ask him after this weekend, he will currently be ranked number 1 and possibly is the best wrestler at 120 pounds in the state too. So we got a stud of our own, and we're going to have a fun one with him because he's actually going to wrestle one of the ranked opponents from Blackwell. So that should be a nice, fun featured match, as well as 175 should be a good one as well. So anyway, should be a fun duel. A lot of cool stuff going on in Guthrie as well. I know we passed the school bond, going to put up a new wrestling room in the next year or two, so that should be awesome and exciting. And the Blue Jays are kicking off with what will be a crazy, crazy week of wrestling. Blackwell duel tonight. There is a tri-duel with El Reno and Tuttle tomorrow night at the junior high. If you're not able to, if you are able to get out and watch that duel, come and watch that duel at the junior high. There's a basketball game at the high school, so we had to shift over there. We're going to be at the junior high for that. And Tuttle is number 1 in 4A, so 2 back-to-back number 1 teams for the Blue Jays this week. And then they're going to take Wednesday off and come back Thursday for a home duel against Duncan. I believe Duncan's currently ranked number 7, maybe number 8, so that should be a tough duel. Duncan always brings a good team with them. And then Friday and Saturday, they will be wrestling at Carl Albert. So out of a 7-day week, the Blue Jays are going to weigh in and wrestle on 5 of those. So that's going to be a killer week for the Blue Jays ahead of them. And they're starting off with what could be the best team they see this year as far as head-to-head in a duel with the Blackwell Maroons. Now, to note, typically in other sports, the 6A teams are the powerhouse, and they will basically run the table with any other opposition. In the sport of wrestling, it's not always the case. I know, the last few years, Stillwater has been a powerhouse team, but Edmond North has really, in the last 4 or 5 years, just dominated Oklahoma wrestling in general. And yes, they are a 6A school, but otherwise, you have teams like Tuttle, like Blackwell, like that are just as tough, maybe a top 5 team in the state overall. So, normally a 3A team versus a 5A team, you think, well, this 5A team ought to just wipe the floor with. Maybe in football that's the case, but not in the sport of wrestling. When you're talking about individuals competing head-to-head, doesn't really matter how big your school is. It matters how good your kid is. And so down here in Blackwell, this is a wrestling-heavy community. These kids have been wrestling since they could fit into their first pair of shoes and singlets, and they've been well coached. They've been well brought up. This is what they do in Blackwell, and so they have always, as long as I've been here in Oklahoma and doing this, Blackwell has come out with a stellar team. They wrestle hard on top. They are hammers, and they are going to be a formidable opponent for the Blue Jays. Actually, they're going to be the favorite to win here. Blue Jays are going to have to pull off a big upset at several weights if they want to stay competitive in this duel. And like I say, Blue Jays are no slouch, top 5 team in 5A, and on paper, possibly could be a top 3 team this year. And really, as good as the Blue Jays are on paper, Blackwell is the favorite. So it should be an exciting duel. Look for Blue Jays to fight hard on the feet. Look for the Maroons to be just as competitive there, and hammers on top. We saw that with the junior high. Came out with takedowns, and once they got them, they got to work on top, and it was all they could do. Bar arms, chicken wings, and halves, and they ride tough on top. So I expect to see a lot of that. I'm going to try to switch over here. I've got a lot of notes and a lot of things going on. But if I can pull off the picture that Coach gave me before my phone dies. He gave me the picture of the lineup tonight, and we can rock and roll through that, hopefully. At 106 pounds, Joel Landry for the Blue Jays, currently ranked number 10. Joel got himself into the top 10 in the state in 5A, and Joel is just a second-year wrestler. Started wrestling last year, and last weekend had the tournament of his life, and I mean that honestly. He knocked off some top-ranked opponents and now finds himself in the rankings in the top 10 in 5A. He's going to be taking on Garrett Short of the Maroons, who is currently ranked number 1 at 103 pounds. Ought to be a fun matchup. I would expect Garrett Short to have a lot more in his arsenal, but Joel Landry's very savvy. He's very squirrely. He's got really good hips, and he's very unpredictable, and I think that was the difference last weekend in his success, is he's finally starting to figure out wrestling. He's finally starting to figure out where he's supposed to be, and that helps when you're squirrely because he's able to squirrel back on top. So look for that to be a fun match. At 113 pounds, Uriah Sisk is taking on Cole Hedrick. Cole Hedrick is a freshman as well as Uriah Sisk. Not sure the MO as far as Cole Hedrick goes, but I can imagine he is well prepared, as will Uriah Sisk be. Both young guys. Looks like we've got a fun little preview for Blackwell going on. If you can, I'll turn it down a little bit so it's not quite so loud in my ear. At 120 pounds, number 2 ranked in the state in 5A, Caden Herending for the Blue Jays is going to be taking on Loudon Wolf. Now, Loudon Wolf is currently ranked number 1 in 3A, and so this ought to be a very fun matchup. Caden Herending has been a hammer all year, really been a handful for everyone, has looked very, very dominant. Returning 2-time 5A state champion, is going for his 3rd this year, just picked up a loss to Chickasha a couple of weekends ago, so that knocked him down to the number 2 ranked, but he is now number 2 ranked, going to be taking on number 1 in 3A, and I have a feeling that Loudon Wolf is going to put up a great match for Caden to hopefully prepare him for that match against the Chickasha kid this weekend. Caden should see him at the Carl Albert tournament, so that should be a fun one. I've got that one circle marked, X'd, and highlighted because I'm looking forward to a fun match there. 126 pounds for the Blue Jays. Aiden Smith is going to be taking on Madden Edgar. Madden Edgar was a state placer last year and is currently ranked number 3 in 3A. And Aiden Smith is he's had his hands full all year. Really, when he's wrestling kids that are freshmen, sophomore, kids that have experience, Aiden has looked as good as possible. And against the better opponents, against the state champions, the state placers, Aiden has picked up losses, but they've been good losses. He's actually wrestling really well. He's starting to mature and really come into his own. And so I look for him to make a good match at 126 pounds against Madden Edgar, who would be the favorite. But one thing about Aiden, you got to remember, he's always in it. That kid's wrestling hard, and he's really, really improving at a fast rate. 132 pounds. Matt Mahalik for the Blue Jays is going to be taking on Saber Let me look at this. Saban Batten. Can't read the handwriting, but I'm here. Saban Batten is at 132 pounds for Blackwell, taking on Matt Mahalik. Not sure the story on Saban, other than he is a junior, and Matt Mahalik being the senior. Matt was just seconds away from qualifying for the state tournament last year, and I know this year wants to make it to that tournament. He's been working hard to try to get a medal. That is his overall goal. Matt Mahalik has really come on, really about halfway through the season last year. Really has made the transition into wrestling. So that ought to be a fun matchup. Looks like on paper it should be an even matchup, and I like to see those. Those are fun. And in a duel like this, those matchups that are a toss-up on paper can really make a big difference as far as points go, where, you might go, when you're filling these out on paper, you're thinking, okay, maybe we can win that. That's 3 for them. That may be 3 for us. Well, if somebody picks up a fall or a major decision or a bonus win, that can turn the tide of a duel, and that can really make a big difference. And so hopefully we can get a fun one there at 132. 138, Luke Alliance for the Blue Jays is taking on Peyton Head. Peyton Head is a state placer from last year, currently ranked number 2 in 3A. So Peyton is going to be a handful for Luke Lyons, but Luke Lyons has had moments this year that give me confidence that he has the potential to place at state. He has hit some rocky patches as well, got banged up a little bit, so hopefully he is back to full health so that he can get some work against Peyton Head, and I really look for that to be a competitive matchup as well. If Luke is healthy and if Luke is wrestling to his capability, this ought to be a good match. I know Peyton Head's going to be a handful. However, Luke Lyons can compete with anybody, but hopefully he's out there and able to do so. 144 pounds, Colton Stevens finally got him back from football just moments before Christmas break started. I think we've seen him wrestle in one tournament. He had one day of practice and then went to a tournament and then hit Christmas break. So unfortunately for Colton, our football team did very well this year, made it all the way to the state finals, which put off his wrestling season about 4 weeks. But can't fault them for that. We really were proud of our Blue Jay football team. They did an amazing job this year. Fell short in the finals, but made it all the way to second place in the state, so that was awesome. But it did take a few of our wrestlers a little further than we would have liked to see. But anyway, Colton Stevens, 144, taken on, looks like Laker Ingram, who is a senior, currently ranked number 4 for the Maroons, and this ought to be a good matchup for Colton to really see where he stands against a high-quality opponent. Anyone placing 4th or anyone ranked number 4 on a team like this, really just starting on a team like the Blackwell Maroons is going to make you a stud, but really a number 4 ranked guy. This is going to be a handful for Colton, but Colton's ready for the test, and it's going to be nice. I would like to see where he stands against top competition, as Colton's been a lifetime wrestler and really needing to get his didn't compete last year, wasn't able to make varsity. Now he's on varsity as a sophomore, really needs to start getting his feet wet, get out there, get some experience. Tonight's matchup will be that, and we are excited for this opportunity. 115 pounds, Aiden Harden, freshman, is going to be taking on, looks like Grant Rowe or Bodie Thompson. Grant Rowe is the number 1 ranked wrestler in 3A. And Aiden Harden, just a freshman here, started as a 7th grader, so this is going to be his 3rd full season. Aiden really getting baptized by fire this year, but we have seen moments of excellence. Aiden's very crafty from all positions, real tall, real lanky, starting to learn how to use that, which has been very fun. He's actually ranked. He's wrestled several ranked guys this season already, and always has something fun for him. I will say that. So he's very crafty because of his length and the weight that he's wrestling. He gives guys a lot of problems, and so we're hoping to see some of that. Possibly, if it were me, just being the Guthrie fan, I'd like to see him wrestle Bodie Thompson, another freshman. And only because perhaps there'll be a little bit more parity there, and that would give both of those guys a good wrestler or a good opportunity. But obviously Grant Rowe's going to want that chance if he can get it. 157 pounds. Rowan McCone, finally down to weight, is going to be taking on Andrew Young for the Maroons. Now, another football player that got held up about 4 weeks. Rowan had to stay big for football and is now finally getting himself down to 157 pounds. And of all the guys I'm worried about this week, Rowan would be the one. just because he's got to make weight for the first time tonight at 157 pounds, and then he's got to make it 5 more times throughout this week. So by the time Saturday rolls around, Rowan's weight ought to be good. If he lives to tell about it, good Lord, he's going to be hungry all week, so I bet by the time Carl Albert comes, he's going to be grouchy. But perhaps that weight will be under control, and he'll be ready to wrestle. But anyway, he's taking on Andrew Young at 157 pounds. Andrew Young ranked number 3 in the state for Blackwell in 3A, and he ought to be a handful for Rowan. It'll be another one that, Rowan's had one. He practiced for a day, and then he went to a tournament, and then he's had Christmas break to try to get himself in shape, get his weight down. So this ought to be a good out for Rowan. Rowan competed a lot last year for the varsity team, was able to nearly place a junior high state, and then he nearly made it to the state tournament as well. So Rowan just right there on the edge of being competitive at that higher level, as the last year showed, and this year, this year he's just really getting his bearings straight. Like I say, he's just getting his feet wet, so hopefully Rowan will have a good opportunity to wrestle a good wrestler tonight and hopefully have a good showing there. 165 pounds, Clayton Carey for the Blue Jays is ranked number 7 in 5A. Clayton finds himself as a sophomore ranked in the state. He was number 10. He's picked up a couple more big wins, and now he's ranked number 7. And he is going to be taking on Kelby Ingram, a state placer in 3A from the past season, currently ranked number 4 in 3A. So we got 2 ranked opponents, one in 3A, one in 5A. That would probably be my second start match. I told you 120 pounds was one I was looking forward to. This one here, Clayton Carey, I'm super excited to see how he lines up against Kelby Ingram. Also noted here, trying to read handwriting, maybe Lane Looper. Perhaps Lane Looper could be wrestling at 165 as well. Don't have much on Lane Looper. I apologize if you are a Blackwell fan. I just have a name, and that is it. So there's a chance at 165 Lane Looper could be stepping in for Clayton Carey. But honestly, I hope it's Kelby Ingram. I like to see these ranked opponents go at it, and I really just like to see where Clayton Carey stands as far as at this next level of guys. I know the Blue Jay coaches are not just hopeful, but looking for Clayton to get a medal at the state tournament. Not just get there, but get that medal. Clayton's put on a ton of size this year, and he is definitely looking like he is hungry for placement at that state tournament. 175 pounds, Bryson Hall for the Blue Jays, currently ranked number 2 at 175 pounds in 5A, is going to be taking on Neely Ward is number 5 ranked in 3A. So that should be an awesome matchup. 2 highly ranked opponents, number 2, number 5, 3A versus 5A. Should be a fun one. I can hear the music dropping. That means I'm about done talking, as these Blackwell Maroons are going to march out here probably for their introductions. Let me hit these last 2 matchups at 215 pounds. Cruz Golf, who is the best wrestler in the state of Oklahoma at 215 pounds, is going to be picking up a forfeit. Guthrie Bluejays have got a wrestler. 190-pounder Wyatt Silvas has been bumping up. He's a little bit banged up, so he's not going to compete tonight. Cruz Golf going to take the forfeit. I know the Maroons are going to be a little disappointed, as he was the homecoming king, and his crowd is out here to watch him wrestle. He'll get the forfeit and get to wave to the crowd, but not going to get to compete tonight. And then at 215 pounds, Sir William Morgan for the Blue Jays is going to be taking on Stoney Hudson. Sir William was a... You know what? I just skipped past 190 pounds. I'm backing up 190 pounds. Roston Usselton, currently ranked number 3 at 190 pounds for the Blue Jays, is going to be taking on Jason Osgood. Jason Osgood, currently ranked number 1 in 3A, last year's state champion. So that ought to be a fun one, guys. Roston Usselton finds himself ranked for the first time in his career as a sophomore, and he's going to be taking on what would be known as a hammer, number 3 versus number 1. That ought to be a fun one as well. And then last, let's get up to heavyweight. Stoney Hudson of the Maroons going to be taking on Sir William Morgan at heavyweight. And Stoney Hudson is ranked number 5 in the state at 3A. And Sir William Morgan's going to make his varsity debut for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have been wrestling 2 or 3 of the heavier weights. And Sir William back from football now, and what will be his 3rd year on the mat. And he's going to try his hand against a ranked opponent in Stony Hudson. I'm going to call it quits here for a minute, folks, as we do our national anthem. Folks, we ought to be in for a good one tonight as we get these introductions underway.
Tonight's scheduled high school duel between the visiting Guthrie Bluejays and your Blackwell Maroons. Let's meet your wrestlers for this evening. At 106 pounds, from Guthrie, Joel Landry. For Blackwell, returning state placer, Garrett Short. 113, Guthrie, Uriah Sisk. For Blackwell, Cole Hedrick. 120, Guthrie, Caden Herendine. For Blackwell, returning state champion, Loudon Wolf. 126, Guthrie, Aiden Smith. For Blackwell, returning state placer, Madden Edgar. 132, Guthrie, Matthew McCallick. For Blackwell, returning state qualifier, Saban Benton. 138, Guthrie, Luke Lyons. For Blackwell, returning state placer, Peyton Head. 144, Guthrie, Colton Stevens. For Blackwell, returning state qualifier, Laker Ingram. 150, Guthrie, Aiden Harden. For Blackwell, Bodie Thomason. 157, Guthrie, Rogan McComb. For Blackwell, returning state qualifier, Andrew Young. 165, Guthrie, Clayton Carey. For Blackwell, returning state qualifier, Kelby Ingram or Layton Looper. 175, Guthrie, Bryson Hall. For Blackwell, Neely Ward. 190, Guthrie, Roston Usselton. For Blackwell, returning state champion, Jason Osgood. 215 is a forfeit for Blackwell. Cruz Goff, returning state champion 3 times, going on his 4th. 285, Guthrie, Sir William Morgan. For Blackwell, returning state qualifier, Stony Hudson. Head coach Guthrie, Jaden Davenport, assisted by Jeremy Davenport and Jay Howard. For Blackwell, head coach Connor Klein, assisted by Tyler Shin and E.J. Edgar. Tonight's referee, Mr. Terry Kuntz.
Jerry Kuntz, our referee tonight. And we're going to be in good hands. Jerry did a nice job officiating the junior high duel. Jerry's been around forever. He's going to know the rules. He's going to do a good job. Knows these coaches well also, as they have been giving him a hard time for most of their careers. Fun little inside joke. I tried to get Jerry to come out here and do an interview for us, but he respectfully declined as I was giving him a hard time, so that should be fun. We're going to kick off the duel tonight. At 106 pounds, we got two ranked wrestlers.
106 pounds, Guthrie, Joel Landry.
Joel Landry made the top 10. This just after Christmas, rankings came out in 5A. Joel hit the top 10. He's taking on Garrett Short. Last year's state placer, currently ranked number 1 for the Maroons. Comes out quick with a short carry on the whistle. Picks up 3 points for the takedown. And he's going to cut Landry loose. That's going to be a point for the Blue Jays as he shoots in for a big-time double. Landry tries the neck whip, not able to get it. As Short back on top. Going to work now with the bar arm. He's going to try this roll through tilt, I believe. Landry spots are nice away from it. Short, though, look for him to just dump back here to get some near fall. As he's sucking that back now, Landry able to get back to his base. There's that roll through tilt as he caught that bar arm. He's been waiting on that, trying to set that up. Looked like he's going to get 2 points for near fall so far. Jerry Coons holds those until the lock is broke. It's going to be 2 points for near fall as Landry able to kick out. Tries a shot of his own, tried a short carry, comes up a little short. And Garrett Short able to jump around back, currently up 11-2. These 3-point takedowns can really rack up the score for you. You guys can hear in the background this band from the student section. I was warned by the head wrestling coach, Connor Klein, that this Blackwell group can get a little rowdy. They love their wrestling here in Blackwell. Picking up more near fall is Garrett Short. That's going to be 4 points for the near fall, and that's going to put him up 15-2 over Joel Landry of the Blue Jays. With 15 seconds left to go, if he can get one more turn, he'll have a tech fall. And Joel Landry trying to get his arm back. And there's the hammerlock from that bar arm series. Look for him to try to do a short tilt. Not going to have enough time. Under 3 seconds. And Garrett Short off to a quick lead in the first period. First 2 minutes scored 15 points over Joel Landry's 2. It was all takedowns and near fall. As the choice goes to Blackwell. Going to be their choice in the second. And a takedown here will be a tech fall for Garrett Short. Look for him to go feet to back. I saw Coach Klein signaling that maybe that's what they wanted to do as he grabs his cow catcher. Going to look for this snake, this cow catcher position. And Landry able to swim out. And that's going to be 3 points for the tech fall. And that will be the match. That's going to be good for 5 team points. And that's going to put the Maroons on the board early against the Blue Jays at 106 pounds. We're going to move up to 113 pounds for the Blue Jays.
113, Guthrie,
Uriah Sisk is going to be taking on Cole Kettrick. Cole Kettrick, freshman, taking on Uriah Sisk, a freshman as well. Quick takedown here for Hetrick. And gets the 3. And now Uriah Sisk with the escape. Going to be up 3-1 as he goes back to work. Snap down. And just a whip behind. Going to pick up 3 more points. Going to let him go again. A little Bo Bassett style here. As he goes in now for a nice high C to a fireman's carry. We've seen that already a couple of times tonight from the junior high. We saw in the last match as well. Now inside bar arms to a chicken wing. Another Blackwell staple. We've seen this before from them. As he runs out over to try to get near fall. Wasn't quite enough, but now he's getting, you can see his back here. Once it breaks 45 degrees, near fall criteria are hit, and you'll see referee Jerry Coots start swinging his hand, and every time he does, it's worth a point. But now we're in fall territory, and Cole Hetrick picks up 6 points for Blackwell. That puts him off to an 11-point lead over the Blue Jays early in this duel. Next matchup is the one I highlighted, as I am most excited to see Caden Herendine of the Blue Jays taking on Loudon Wolf of the Maroons. Both Loudon Wolf is ranked number 1 in 3A for Blackwell. Caden Herendeen was ranked number 1 in the state, now number 2, two-time defending state champ for the Blue Jays. This ought to be a good matchup, a lot of parity, and both these guys get after it. Not sure if they've competed before, but I guarantee you they know what they're up against here. Two of the best wrestlers in the state right now on the mat, and this will be a feature match for tonight. Caden Herendeen, ear-to-ear tie-ups. He's got inside control. And now Loudon with inside control. They clear. Seems to be a bit of a size difference here in Loudon Wolf with quite a bit of height on Caden Herendeen. Herendeen most likely with a speed advantage if he can get that to work. Herendeen with a fake here. Both wrestlers feeling each other out. And now Wolf, the fake of his own. They lock back up ear to ear. Both guys probably looking for peek outs, little quick ducks, things like that. Pass by Wolf. Both guys still feeling each other out. Nobody's really committed to anything yet within this first minute. We got 45 seconds to go. Herendeen with another fake snap down. Didn't really commit to any finishes here. Now has inside control. Wolf with the overtie here. A lot of distance here with Wolf. You can see him using that length very nicely. Herendeen not close enough to attack those legs yet. There's a lot of space between the two of them. Wolf using his length very nicely. He's using that long post and keeping his distance, not allowing Herendeen to wrestle the game he wants. Herendeen, though, still setting up these ties, trying to be patient. And you got two wrestlers at this caliber. Taking a risk can earn you points, but can also cost you. So either one of these guys is going to be, when they go, they're going to want to make sure they got it. So they're taking the time here, filling each other out. Not a lot happened here in this first period. A lot of feel out, but look for things to pick up as wrestlers begin to score off these bottom positions. I'm really, really interested to see this position right here. Caden Herendeen on bottom, as tough as Blackwell is on top. This could be a determining factor in this match. Wolf's going to have to ride him if he wants to win. Caden Herendeen right to his feet, does a nice job. Wolf now able to get the bar, able to trip him back down. And this escape here for Herendeen is going to be huge, as he's going to need to get off bottom in order to force Wolf to have to get off bottom as well. But right now, Wolf on top, grinding it out. And Coach Connor Klein over there in the ear, you can see him peeking into the side of the broadcast here, really trying to utilize the edge of the mat here to burn the clock, but also utilize the edge of the mat so Herendeen can't get out. 45 seconds were gone in the second period. Score still 0-0. As Caden Herendeen on bottom of Loudon Wolf, both number 1 ranked guys. Well, number 2 versus number 1. 3A versus 5A. Herendeen nearly out. He's working here, trying to get himself out of bounds. Wolf able to hold on. Herendeen doing exactly what he needs to do here. He doesn't want Wolf to get him tied up. That's going to slow the clock down. Even if he doesn't get turned, he's going to need this point here. Wolf doing a good job chasing him out of bounds, keeping a hold of things, not allowing Herendeen to move. But Herendeen back to his feet. Wolf just dropped straight for the single here as they get back out of bounds. Jaden Davenport looking for a stalling call. If Wolf continues to just follow out of bounds, look for Jerry Kuntz to warn him for a stall. Not that he's not doing anything, but just kind of how the game is played. Herendeen doing a good job just getting up to the edge. If he can get out, he will. If he'll get out of bounds, if he can. But now Herendeen trying to stay to his base, fighting back to his feet. Wolf tripping and barring, and now he's got Herendeen bellied out. And again, if he can sit here and ride this clock, that is what he'll do, and try to turn him back in bounds. You can see Coach Klein there on the side now trying to tell him to pull him in, get him in bounds. And you can see if one leg is still inside, if it's in bounds, they will allow them to wrestle out of bounds. And Kuntz is warning top wrestler now here for not. There he's pulling him back in. He's got to stay busy on top if he wants to hold this position. And that's going to be a warning stall call against Wolf for just holding that position and not looking to score. Herendeen now's got 30 seconds. The warning's not going to hurt Wolf. Unless it happens again, he'll lose a point. So you kind of you can take a stall call and it doesn't affect anything, but that second one will. And he's really just trying to hang on tight here on the top. And Herendeen gets to his feet, and now back to his belly. Is going to have to start getting a little bit desperate to get out. Wolf, though, just sitting on them hips and just holding on, not looking to turn. I'll be surprised here if he's allowed to stay in this position. And there's a second stall call. That's a point for Caden Herendeen. Perhaps that was a stall against Caden Herendeen. Not sure what just happened here. Not sure what happened, but I think I've been wrong on this. I think that Caden Herendeen was nailed for stalling. Caden Herendeen was called for the warning, and Caden Herendeen was called for the 1 point, so that's my fault there. Got that wrong. And now Caden Herendeen down by 1. Ought to just let him go here. He's going to have a takedown to get back in this match. Interesting call by Jerry Kuntz. Not sure what that was about. I definitely was just seeing that differently. But the score is now 2-0. Loudon Wolf does not have to score here. Loudon Wolf can burn a stall call, and really he can burn 2 stall calls if he needs to. Doesn't have to do anything. Doesn't mean he won't. Loudon Wolf can wrestle, and he'll take points when he can get them. He'll attack when he needs to as well. But Caden Herendeen going to have to make something happen, and look for Caden to have to get desperate here. And when he becomes desperate, that will open Loudon Wolf up to easier takedowns because Wolf doesn't have to score here. Wolf is winning this match with 1:14 to go, and Caden's really going to have to turn it on here and start making some action and look for Wolf to just hang out here. Again, he doesn't have to push the issue. He doesn't have to force a takedown. He can just hang out here and allow Herendeen to come to him, and this can create a problem for Herendeen. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get past all of that length. Herendeen's trying to get past some long arms. Wolf doing a great job just moving here and keeping space, keeping Herendeen way out there. Herendeen digs inside ties. He's chasing him around the mat. And again, with 45 seconds left to go in the match, stall calls are not going to win this for Caden Herendeen. He's going to have to attack, and he's going to have to get a takedown in order to win this. Loudon Wolf doing what he needs to do. And there's the first warning. First warning against Wolf. And that's a warning call, but again, another stall call is not going to win this for Herendeen. He's going to need a takedown. And Wolf right now just shutting down every attempt. Herendeen really hasn't had a chance here. There's a stall call, 1 point. And now there's 10 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. Herendeen in on a shot. 1 second to go. And that's going to be a big-time win for Loudon Wolf. #1 ranked in 3A with possibly his biggest win on the season against Guthrie's Caden Herendeen. And the Blackwell crowd knows it, and the Blackwell crowd is excited for their Maroon wrestler. And that's going to be a big deal here as Caden Herendeen is going to cost their team
126 pounds, Guthrie, Aiden Smith.
Going to cost the team a team point for throwing that headgear out of frustration. Guthrie coach is not too happy about those initial stall calls. In theory, that without the stall calls, really that was a 1 point match from the escape. So what a match. Always good drama in the sport of wrestling. You got to love that. We're going to move on to 126 pounds. Aiden Smith of the Blue Jays is taking on Madden Edgar of the Maroons. Quick takedown for the Maroons. Puts him up 3-0 with the escape. Makes it 3-1. And we're back to action here. I told you during the preview, excited to see how Aiden hangs in here with a highly ranked opponent here. Madden Edgar, ranked #3 for the Maroons, is definitely ranked #3 for a reason. This Maroon team is stacked, and they are showing why. A lot of takedowns. Very impressive on their feet so far tonight, and always impressive on top as they hit takedown #3. High C knee pull. He's in deep. Aiden Smith trying to slow this action down so he can get back in this match. But currently a little bit overwhelmed here, down 9-3. in this first period. Minute to go. Heavy inside collar tie by Loudon. I'm sorry, by Edgar. And there's another high C knee pull to the left side. Clearly what Madden Edgar likes to get to. He's going to trade that off to a double and pick up 3 more. And now Aiden Smith trying to get back to a base as Edgar puts a leg in. Now getting a little high here. Seems confident. He's a little bit high on saddle, but he's got that figure 4. That's going to keep him locked in as he makes adjustments back. Still hanging out there high. Really, Aiden Smith's got to do what he can to try to get that leg out. He's kind of fighting this backwards as now that half starts to come in as we get down under 5 seconds. Looks like we are going to finish this first period with Madden Edgar up 3-0. Gonna be Maroons' choice. Crossover Granby. And Aiden Smith able to cover and keep behind as Edgar now gets to his feet. Trying for this little trip down is Aiden Smith. Not quite. Gets the lift, gets the return. Knocks that leg down. And Aiden Smith still in this match, still fighting here. He's going to have to keep returning. He's just got to keep returning. It's easier said than done because Edgar's making this tough. He grabs a leg, goes for a trip. And now Aiden Smith still clinging on top, but he's finding himself in a little bit more trouble. He's getting high. Edgar's got the leg on the far side like a high crotch, but Aiden Smith able to hold that ankle. But then Edgar hits a sort of a switch type move and able to just swim right back on top. Now he's going to work on top, currently up 14-3. As Aiden Smith finds himself on bottom here, fighting hands, going to try to get to his feet. Hopefully be able to keep that leg out. There's Edgar trying to throw that leg in again. This time Aiden Smith able to stop it, but not able to get off bottom here. He's got his right arm tied up in that inside bar arm that we've been seeing from these Maroons all night. He's got that bar arm tied up. Look for him to do a roll and tilt here, trying to pull it back into a chicken wing. Smith able to get his arm back, but now to the other side he puts a leg in. Now both legs in. We saw this at the end of the first. Look for him to go for just a power half here. If he gets him strung out, this is really where the power half or the Turk will come into place. You can defend one and give up the other, or you can defend the other and give up the latter. So tough position when both legs are in. There's that crossface. He'll go for that, try to grab the far arm and go for a Turk. There's a chicken wing. He just pulled back a chicken wing. And Jerry Kuntz says there's not enough action, so he's going to stalemate that. Put him back on bottom, give Aiden Smith one more chance to get up here. Currently down 14-3, 18 seconds to go in the second. Pops to his feet on the whistle. Nice whistle move by Aiden Smith, but good reaction here by Edgar as he catches the ankle, puts a leg in, goes for that crossface far arm. And now he's got the power half on the far side, elbow high. Not a good spot for Aiden Smith, but able to get out of the second period. And now we go back to neutral. It's going to be Aiden Smith's choice. Guthrie's going to choose neutral. And they'll go back to work here on their feet. And Aiden Smith trying to get out of this underhook. Back to a nice little high C as he trades off to the double. Edgar trying to gather these. Aiden Smith doing a good job fighting here. Trying to keep his knees high. When his knees are high, it's hard to finish, but he's getting close to his back. He's going to have to be careful he doesn't get caught for near fall. Jerry Kuntz goes ahead and awards 3. As Madden Edgar showing why he's number 3 ranked in the state. This kid can wrestle. Did a nice job with his transitions and being patient. Able to climb out one finish to another till he finally gets Aiden Smith down. Aiden did a good job making that difficult. But here we go for a run and a chicken wing and a far arm. 17-3 is the current score. Let him go. Now Aiden Smith in on a single leg. He's got it locked. He's got to try to stay on his knees and get that, but a nice little hip bump here by Madden Edgar to pick up 3 more points for the takedown, and that's going to be a tech fall. 5 more points for the Maroons, and a nice job by Aiden Smith against a tough opponent in Madden Edgar.
132, Guthrie, Matthew Mahalik for Blackwell, Saban Batten.
Saban batting for the Maroons, going to take on Matt Mahalik of the Blue Jays at 132 pounds. Saban coming out hard, big time underhooks, going for broke here. Matt Mahalik is always dangerous. Was nearly taken down, then throws a headlock, and Batten rolls through and picks up 3 points for the takedown. He's going to allow Mahalik back to his feet and give up 1 point, and they'll go back to takedowns here. Nice outside low-level single there, head inside, I guess. Comes around, picks up the double. Now Mahalik keeping his knees high, and this is where Mahalik is tough because he's very crafty. He can get into these awkward positions and be comfortable. He's doing a good job hiding his ankles. He gets his feet back, and Saban did a nice job recovering here. Now he's got his arm through for the double. Mahalik still clinging on here. Saban able to get him to his feet and pick up that big-time double. Matt Mahalik did a nice job making that difficult, but man, these Maroons very, very good in just in their transitions from one finish to another, just kind of climbing the ladder until they finally get the takedown. It's not just one shot, one finish. It's one shot, several finishes. So they've done a nice job here really all night doing that. Blue Jays struggling here to keep them off their legs. And Mahalik is not always in trouble when someone's on the leg, but so far, Saban Batten's been able to score when he's got the leg. So they're back in. Got that wrist control. Snap down here. He's trying for this snake, for this cow catcher. And Mahalik now ends up on his back. That's going to be 3 more, but this is going to be tight. Picking up near fall. He's got the 4-count near fall, but he's looking for the pin with 10 seconds to go. And Mahalik on his way off his back gets pinned. Matt Saban able to pick up the fall. That's going to be 6 more points for Blackwell. Not sure what we were looking at. I know the camera had a good angle of that. Perhaps we can go back and see how pinned Mahalik was. But either way, that's going to be 6 points for Blackwell as they're up 25-0 on this duel, 144 pounds. We're going to move on to Luke Lyons of the Blue Jays, going to be taking on Laker Ingram of Blackwell. Laker Ingram currently ranked number 4. I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. I think we're at 138 pounds, folks. I apologize for that. As we get a scramble here, I'll try to get this graphic fixed. This is Peyton Head wrestling currently. And we are at 138 pounds. Luke Lyons looks like he's about got a cradle here. His head's trying to keep a hold of that ankle and not give up anything. In an awkward stalemate, Luke Lyons had a cradle locked up, which is typically a pinning combination. But Peyton Head able to hang on to that ankle and get that stalemate. He had a nice shot. He was in deep. Luke Lyons did a good job cutting the corner, locking up that cradle to try to score. Just wasn't able to pull that off. Jerry Kuntz didn't see enough action, so he went back to the center. And now Luke Lyons in on a shot as he works himself out. Peyton Head's looking for a little dresser dump here. Transitions to a single leg. Lyons left himself open by putting his head too close to his ankle, and Head definitely saw that. Now he's back in on another ankle. Lyons familiar with his position as he'll make this difficult to score. And another stalemate as we're now down to 30 seconds or so left in the first period. Still no score. Peyton Head, number 2 ranked wrestler in the state in 3A. Was a state placer last year. Taking on Luke Lyons. I'm excited to see how Luke can do in this matchup. Luke's had a lot of big matches, wrestled a lot of tough guys, tough matches. Really looking for a signature win, and this would be a good one for him, but Peyton Head, I'm sure, is going to have something to say for that. This should be a fun one, though, folks. We've seen a couple of good matches. That 120-pound match was a lot of fun. Perhaps this one will turn into that as well. Luke Lyons in on a high C. Looked like he was going for a short carry. Ran out of time and came up short. as we finish the first period 0-0. Choice is going to go to Peyton Head of Blackwell. He's going to choose bottom. Luke Lyons for the Blue Jays on top as we start the second period. And we're back to action here. Lyons with a hard chop on top, goes right for that cradle. He had one locked up in the first, just wasn't able to score. He kind of was getting back to it. Head gets right to his feet here, and Lyons goes straight for that back trip. And luckily got off his back because Peyton Head caught him right on his back. And Lyons put himself there. And now, doing what Blackwell does, locks up a chicken wing and grabs himself 4 points for the near fall. And he's not done yet. He's got the half on the far side, and he's working this thing hard now. Points are not awarded yet because he's kept the same hold, but as soon as that hold breaks, he'll get that 4, but he's running this like he's trying to fall, and Luke Lyons can't see it in the camera, but his arm is binded up. And Peyton Head going to work on top hard here. Luke Lyons able to get to his feet, able to get away. Potentially dangerous. So he was not got an escape. Lyons is going to have to go back to bottom. So there was a reversal for near fall. Reversal was worth 2. The near fall was worth 4. Peyton Head now out to an enormous lead in this second period with a minute to go. Luke Lyons to his feet, able to get out, dives right back in on a double leg. He's transitioned now to a single. He's pulling that in. He's got a high in the hip. He's up with it now. Head able to get a whizzer and kick out. And Lyons shoots right back in on a long high C. Lyons dives in on a high crotch now. He's got this. He's got to get low and get his head underneath because Head's cutting the corner here for the crotch lift. Head is going to get this corner and get this too if Lyons does not get his head underneath that leg. He's got to get his head underneath the leg or he's got to get out of bounds because Peyton Head right now is close to 3 points. In what was a nice high C, Peyton Head cuts that corner and puts Luke Lyons in all kinds of trouble. No change in score, no takedowns. And we're back to action here. Luke Lyons down by 5 and is wrestling like he is. He's been attacking hard. Peyton Head crafty down here. First period, Peyton Head was in on shots, and Lyons was being crafty defensively, and now it's the other way. Lyons dives in on an ill-advised shot. Head just blocks, sprawls, goes behind. And then Lyons is now locked up in another chicken wing tilt. And was not able to get near fall as the buzzer rang when Jerry Kuntz counted for the second time. He did get a 1 count, but on the second there was nothing. But there was a 3-point takedown, so Luke Lyons now is down 9-1 behind Peyton Head, and Peyton Head, although the score is 9-1, this has been a fun one. Action-packed, arm drag, tried to go behind. Luke Lyons now being a little bit more careful, was diving in on shots, trying to force it, and gave up 3 there at the end of the second. And so now Peyton Head in on a high crotch of his own. High in the hip there. He's going to pull that leg in. Luke Lyons is going to have to run this whizzer and keep his leg heavy. Keeping that leg outside is probably the right move here. He needs to get it back outside. There it is. And Head's going to cross through for the double. And again, these Maroons are doing a good job of just checking boxes. When Guthrie shuts down one of the finishes, they move to another finish. They're doing a good job just transitioning between finishes. And another example of that right there. Luke Lyons still in this match. Minute and 21 to go. He's made it a fun one. Luke Lyons now on bottom. Got to get his head off the mat and start attacking up, or he's going to get rolled up in another tilt. When he gets to his feet, it's hard to run those tilts, and this is exactly what he did and how he got out. Peyton Head said he wanted to go back on his feet, so here we go again. Luke Lyons now looking for something big, under a minute. Takedown's not going to win this match. He's going to have to do something crazy for a win. Would be nice to see him come out here and just get a clean takedown. Peyton Head's going to try to get a couple of takedowns to get the tech fall. He's got the major decision. That's going to be at least 4 points for the Maroons. But look for Peyton Head to try to get a tech fall here, as Coach Connor Klein over there in the corner wants to see his athlete score some more points. Luke Lyons, though, fighting this off well, as Head's trying to transition out of the other side. Inside leg dump. Like I said before, they just transition from one. He tried to go to the right, and Lyons was shutting that down, and so he used the force from the down hip of Lyons and pulled it back around for the little dump. It was nicely done. He ends up in a Turk, And now if he's able to get near fall here, he can pick up the tech fall. There's 15 seconds to go. Lions able to get that inside leg out. And now we're down under 10 points. Going to be a win here for Peyton Head. And it's going to be a major decision win, but a fun match. That was. Luke Lyons put on a good show here as Peyton Head, number 2 ranked wrestler in the state, did a nice job. We're going to move on to 144 pounds.
144 pounds. Guthrie,
Colton Stevens for the Blue Jays.
Blackwell, Laker Ingram.
And Laker Ingram for Blackwell. Laker Ingram currently ranked number 4 in the state. In 3A comes out with a short carry. We have seen that particular technique several times tonight. Not able to score yet as Colton Stevens scrambles for this one with an early three-point call. Now picks it up with a big lift, trying to get near fall. Colton Stevens able to scramble back and just give up the takedown. And Ingram out to an early three-point lead with 1:25 left to go in the first. Colton Stevens going to have to find a way to get to his base here, get his arm back. Inside bar arm on the left side, as you can see here, underneath his belly. Ingram's got a hold of that, trying to put 2-on-1 to get that back. As these Maroons are bar arm heavy. Now a crossface far arm, looking for an outside cradle. Big-time crossfaces here by Ingram. Colton Stevens facing up hard here. Ingram with some hard cross faces. But Colton, very long build. Those arms are a long way to go. He's got a claw right on the inside. Digging heavy here. Colton Stevens able to get to his feet. Ingram drops to the single. Colton did a nice job there. Throws out Whizzer, stomps his foot, able to get out on his own accord. And Jerry Kuntz going to slow down that aggression a little bit. Ingram not doing anything terribly bad yet, but if you let that go too long, it can get a little more physical than wrestling's supposed to be. So he shuts it down. Ingram in on a low level. Stevens able to kick that leg back. Tries a single. Colton stops that as well. Now we're into an underhook scenario. Colton Ingram driving here, trying to get the forearm knee tap, and again, having a little bit of trouble with the length of Colton Stevens. Colton's doing a good job being long and being hard to take down. A lot of height difference here, different builds. Laker Ingram, kind of a short, stocky build. On the whistle, again, we see a low level. And Colton Stevens with that long length. Not able to protect his feet on the whistle. Ingram sees something he likes. Now he's got a head lever. He's put his forehead into that arm. Look for him to try to duck his head and walk over into a half. And if he can't do that, he'll pull that back on his back into a hammerlock and work a little series from there. It's going to be Blackwell's choice. They defer. Guthrie coaches are going to put Colton Stevens on bottom. Currently down 6-1. Colton doing a nice job here against number 4 ranked Laker Ingram. So we get back to work here. Bars the arm. Gets to his feet. And now they're back to work. Colton's going to have to watch his lead right leg. Laker Ingram's been chewing that thing up all night. Nice little pass by attempt by Stevens. Stevens now showing a little bit of aggression. Like to see that. Now Jerry Kuntz goes the other way and says, "Hey, just chill out a little bit. We don't want to see those turn into strikes. We like the aggression, but let's keep it wrestling." Both guys now here, not even really worn. Just Jerry's doing a nice job just keeping it clean. And you let these wrestlers get too physical and they'll turn it into a fight. But they're doing a good job just turning it down. Now these guys are back to wrestling. Some heavy collar ties, outside single attempt on that lead leg of Colton Stevens. Colton using that link to stay long, but he catches the inside ankle on the right side as he turns the corner. And Laker Ingram's now got double legs locked, not yet on top. He's got to step over and hook. Colton Stevens has got to keep his feet in the way, holding on for dear life, but with 1:07 to go, Laker Ingram able to get the takedown. Just transition from one to another. Did a slick job of catching those ankles. That's what seems like that's been the attacks he's using here against Colton. He's catching those low ankles. Colton's had some nice defense on some of those high leg shots, but when his ankles get caught, seems to be more difficult to stop. A little bit of caution here. Rolling start by Ingram. Wrestlers are allowed 2 cautions for free. The third caution will cost a point. Very typical to get 1, just trying to beat the whistle a little bit. Maybe getting a little too caught up in the match. Not a big deal. Cautions happen a lot. Nice high C on the far side. Attacks the back leg of Colton Stevens and is paying for it right now, as it was a long ways away with those long legs of Colton Stevens. But boy, Ingram holding on tight to that high crotch. He's in a bad way here, but he's doing a good job of keeping the leg, and he's trying to build back up. Stevens staying heavy, trying to cut the corner. Now Ingram catches the head in a headlock. He's got a headlock out of this. Was awarded the 3 points. And now Colton Stevens transitioning out. And it looks like there were 2 near fall points given by Jerry Kuntz, and then an escape point coming out of bounds. So Ingram got 3 for the takedown. He got 2 for the near fall, and then 1 Colton Stevens got for the escape. It's going to be 14-4 in what was a very exciting sequence. Looked like Stevens was about to get around and score when Laker Ingram popped up and dumped Stevens to his hip and was able to transition back to the head. Here we go back to the third period. Ingram's choice, he chose neutral. Shoots right back in on that fireman's carry, that short carry dump. Picks up 3 more points. Seen a lot of different leg attacks from Ingram in this match. He's hit ankles several times. Outside singles, high crotches, finishes up the match with that dump. And that's going to be a tech fall. 5 more points go on the board for the Maroons, as they pick up another bonus win against the Blue Jays. And we move on to 150 pounds.
150 pounds, Guthrie, Aiden Harden.
Guthrie's Aiden Harden is going to take on Bodie Thompson. So Bodie Thompson, the freshman wrestler for Blackwell, going to take on Aiden Smith of the Blue Jays. Bodie with an early takedown, and now gets back to work on his feet. Hits the high C. He's going to transition to a big power double, and going to pick up 3 more for his effort. Now he works to a half on the near side. As Aiden Harden trying to get situated, trying to get himself to his belly. Got caught in this half, and this is a deep half, and this is a lot of trouble. This is a lot of trouble for Aiden Harden. Aiden able to get his inside right arm out, which is good, but still wrapped up and gives up the fall, and that's going to be 6 more points for the Maroons as we move on to 157 pounds.
157, Guthrie,
Rowan McComb for the Blue Jays.
Young.
Blue Jays' Rowan McComb gives up an early takedown, finds himself on bottom. At 157 pounds, Andrew Young Andrew Young going to work here on top. Takedown early as he's going to work now here. Going to let Rowan McComb up. And Rowan McComb going to, looks like we got a little bit of blood here. Not good if you're wearing a white singlet. Came back from a tournament a few weeks ago in those white singlets. And Miss Lindsay Silva spent better part of several days getting the blood out of those singlets. And now we're back As we fix this graphic here. As we get this blood timeout. Get all this cleaned up. Not a big deal. Usually with the blood, just trying to get things cleaned up, keep things sanitary. I don't think anybody's hurt too bad. Just a little bit of a bloody nose. Physical sport happens a lot. As we're back to action here with a minute left to go in the first period. Rowan McCone of Guthrie taking on Andrew Young of Blackwell. Young currently up 3-0. Rowan in on a shot. Tries for that fireman's carry. Ends up getting his head stuck. Now going for the cradle was Andrew Young. And McComb had to bail out so he didn't get cradled. Young picks up another takedown for 3. 30 seconds to go. He's going to let Rowan up. McComb back to work on his feet. Andrew Young at 157 pounds is currently ranked number 3 in the state in 3A, as are many of these Blackwell Maroons. They've got a stacked team this year, as you have seen tonight. A lot of tough wrestlers. That's going to be 3 more points for Young as he picks up a cradle. Tried that earlier and was only able to get the takedown. This time, able to transition to the back of Ron McComb and pick up 2 more near fall. That's going to put him up 11-2. Seems like he likes that, just the snap down, go behind, and when he does, he tucks his head in the hole, just a head in the hole cradle. Catches that far leg, pulls the head to the leg, and wraps it up for near fall. Rowan now goes to work on top. He's going to have to try to make something happen here. Rowan likes this claw ride. He's had success with it. He's going to have to try to make something happen here as he finds himself down by 9 points going into the second period. As Young now gets the inside leg stand up into the quad pop position. Rowan able to bump him back down. Rowan's going to have to try to get him all the way to his belly so he can score some near fall. But Young able to just keep basing out here. Now he's got a post on the outside. Peeling hands with a post. Rowan's getting too high now. And as he got too high, Young peeled those hands and Rowan was forced to let him out. And they go back to work on their feet. McComb now in on a shot, just a touch and go. But again, that block sprawl go behind. Andrew Young finds himself back on the leg, transitions over to the double. McComb tries for that elevator position. That elevator move not able to make it work as he gives up 3 more. That's going to put him down 15-2. As Andrew Young for the Maroons gets to work on top here in the second period. 45 seconds left to go. And the Blackwell Maroons are currently leading the Blue Jays 40-0 in what has been a dominant showing for them so far tonight. We knew Blackwell was going to be a tough team, as highly ranked as they were and as many wrestlers as they had ranked. A lot of good things going on in Blackwell. Like I say, one of the best teams in the state overall. Clearly the best team in 3A, but overall one of the best teams in the state. And Guthrie really figuring out why tonight. Rowan McCone reaches back, trying to make something happen. Normally that's a bad idea. In this case, Rowan's got to make something happen, so he tried. But Young just riding tough here on top with 5 seconds left to go. McComb be good to get his escape here if he can. Not really in a position to make that happen. As time runs out in the second, choice is going to go to, not quite sure. We're dealing with a little bit more blood here. Choice is going to go to the Blue Jays. In the third, McComb's going to pick neutral. So he tries to make something happen here. And again, same shot we've seen, or not same shot, but same attack we've seen from Andrew Young. I believe he scored 9 points now from that very thing. Just a block. He blocks the shot, gets in the front headlock, tucks his head in the hole, cuts the corner, grabs the far leg, catches the cradle, and picks up the takedown. We've seen that from him, and that's going to be a tech fall for the Maroons, picking up 5 more points as we move into 165. Clayton Carey
Kelby Ingram.
is going to take on Kelby Ingram. Hoping this will be a fun one tonight as Kelby Ingram ranked number 4 in 3A. Clayton Carey currently ranked number 7 in 5A. Big time double leg shot here. Transitions. Clayton Carey doing a good job with heavy hips. And Ingram trying to pull this in. Normally on a double leg you want to drive, but when you're on the edge of the mat like that, you can't drive. And so Clayton Carey able to use the edge of the mat there to his advantage and keep himself from getting taken down. Ingram in on a shot. Clayton Carey now goes for a big, trying for that big snake here. Now he's going for the knee tap. There's an ankle down from Ingram, drops to the ankle from there. Now he's got a deep single leg. Clayton Carey fighting here with a shin whizzer. Now the shin whizzer's gone and Clayton's just holding on back to the shin whizzer again, trying to get his head back. Ingram went for that cradle and Clayton able to get his leg back. Nice defense by Clayton Carey, was dead to rights there and just able to scramble his way out as Kelby Ingram comes up with nothing after having a deep ankle. I think we're going to be in for a fun one here, folks, as they get back to work here in these deep ties. Ingram leaning heavy to his left, which means he's going to try to catch the right side of Clayton Carey again. He caught that ankle the first time he went for it. You saw him hanging over there on his left side, trying to get that lead leg of Clayton Carey. It's a real heavy step. And Ingram's eyeballing that, look for him to attack that again. Carey now with the inside wrist tie, heavy head tie there. He can keep his head down and keep it happening there. He went for that left side again. Carey doing a good job staying heavy with his hips and just shutting this down with an inside shoulder block. We've seen the short carry dump from the Maroons all night, and it looks like perhaps Ingram could be trying to set something up, but Clayton Carey staying long, staying back, and keeping that from happening as we go into the second period. It is scoreless, and what was an exciting first period at 165 pounds for Clayton Carey. Guthrie Bluejays goes on bottom beneath Kelby Ingram of the Blackwell Maroons. Back to action here in the second. A bar arm, as we've seen all night, but Clayton Carey able to get to his feet. Big time lift and return. That's going to be potentially dangerous because he had the inside arm locked. If the inside arm is caught and the guy on bottom gets to his feet, the referee has to blow the whistle now by rule because that's potentially dangerous. There's nowhere for him to, when he falls, the first thing to hit would be his head. And so Jerry Kuntz did a good job catching that, trying to protect the wrestlers here, but Clayton Carey able to get to his feet, get out, get one. Scores first. As we get to work there, shucks off. Got to be careful shooting on these Blackwell Maroons. Their block sprawl go-behinds are very effective. They've been hitting Blue Jays with them all night. So Clayton's going to have to do a good job of setting up his shots if he wants to get in there. Ingram now looking. Pass by to a shot. Clayton Carey using his length well. Clayton's a lot stronger than he looks. As he, on the camera, he looks a little tall and long, but he's got thick shoulders, big arms. He's really matured nicely over the summer, put on a lot of size. He wrestled 138 last year. Now he's up at 165, and he's every bit of 165. Shoots in on a nice high C. Too bad that didn't happen on the mat. As now stalling call against Kelby Ingram. I guess for going out of bounds there on that shot. Not sure I saw what was going on there, but now Ingram attacks that left leg of Clayton Carey. And Carey with heavy hips, long and heavy. You can tell there's some strength there for a wrestler to be able to get his leg back like that. You either got to have leverage or you got to have strength, and I think Clayton Carey probably has a lot of both because Ingram's having a lot of trouble finishing those shots when he gets in deep. Clayton's doing a good job of using that size and that length to leverage those legs back. Ingram's starting to get a little bit frustrated not being able to finish here. Clayton Carey was in on a deep shot. Look for him to set that back up. It was a high C. He was able to pull it in deep and almost finished that double, just ran out of real estate. as he went out of bounds. And now both guys kind of looks like they're just feeling out the end of this second period. It's 4 seconds left. I don't look for anyone to take any risk here as they just finish out the clock. And the choice is going to go to Blackwell, as they're going to put Kelby Ingram on bottom. Clayton Carey on top. 1-0 is the score. Clayton Carey leads going into the third period. Clayton now with this lazy ride elevates the leg. Look for him to elevate, cross that knee over top of the foot and dump him to his hip. As he hangs on here, Kelby gets his foot out now. He's got the outside post. And now he's to his feet. Clayton Carey's going to have to try to return so he doesn't get called for stalling. He's got to let him go, and he did. Ingram now gets right on the lead leg of Clayton Carey. Talked about it in the first. Just a heavy lead leg. Ingram kind of played possum until he was able to just drop down and catch that ankle. And now Clayton Carey finds himself in trouble. He's fighting hard here, but not much to hold on to, as Ingram able to pick up a big three-point takedown. That's going to put him up 4-1 with a minute to go in the third period. Clayton Carey's going to have to get to his feet, get an escape, and get a takedown if he wants to win this match. There's the escape. With a minute to go, Clayton Carey's going to have to get to work now. Look for a lot of pressure here by him. Clayton Carey has a gas tank for days, and this kid will wrestle hard. No stranger to pressure, no stranger to exciting matches. Clayton Carey's going to come on all cylinders firing as he's going to look to get a takedown here. He will go and kill out this match. Catches Clayton Carey on his back in what was a back and forth match. Picks up the fall for the Blackwell Maroons, and the crowd shows their appreciation for this exciting match, which ended in their favor. Clayton Carey put on a heck of a match there, kind of forcing his hand at the end because he had to. Ends up getting caught there and giving up a big takedown to his back at the end. What a fun match that was. We're going to move on to 175 pounds. Where Guthrie's Bryson Hall is going to be taking on Lane Looper of the Maroons. Lane Looper currently ranked number 5 in 3A. Bryson Hall currently ranked number 2 in 5A. This ought to be another fun one. Last match had a lot of excitement, had a lot to do, came down to the end. This match I expect to be much like that. These Blackwell Maroons showed up to wrestle tonight with their home court advantage. They've got the band, they've got the crowd, they've got a packed house wrestling on a new mat and showing why they are 3A powerhouse ranked number 1. Been a handful for the Blue Jays tonight. Bryson Hall trying to shut down the party as he gets in on a nice high C knee pull, finishes to a double leg and out to a lead. Out to an early lead with a 3-point takedown. Bryson Hall wrestling tough here with that lazy ride's what they call that, where they hook the outside ankle and just kind of elevate, just kind of stalls the hip movement of the guy on bottom, kind of freezes their knees to the mat. They can't really move and get up. Hall's been known to use that ride to help get breakdowns, and now he's got Looper down to his belly. Bryson Hall's going to go to work here on top with 25 seconds left to go. Look for Hall to try to ride solid here. Hall's a takedown machine, but has really gotten better on top these last couple of years. As you can tell, locks up a cradle now. He's got a cradle locked up. Looper's on his back. Looper's in trouble here. Looper's in deep trouble with 3 seconds to go. Hall able to pick up 4 points for the near fall. And that's going to put him up 7 0. Bryson Hall showing why he is currently ranked number 2, wants to be ranked number 1, and he's hoping by the end of this following weekend when he can get to the 5A preview tournament in Carl Albert, he can show why he should be. Bryson Hall considered one of the best wrestlers in the state at this weight, not just in 5A. As he gets to his feet here from bottom. Classic inside tripod stand up. Gets to his feet and is now working his way out. Looper's going to have to let him go here or he's going to get called for stalling. And Hall just being patient here, working his hips out. Hall gets his escape as they work on the edge here. Been a long time since I've seen Bryson Hall get rode. He's so tough on bottom, just short, stocky, built like your classic wrestler is built. And on bottom, just hard to hold down. He's able to just use that strength to post stand up. You can put a lot of pressure on him. It's just hard to hold him down. He's able to get to his feet, work out. Nice outside single transition straight to a double. Picks it up, dumps it, gets right to the crossface. Now he's going to look for that crossface cradle. He got it earlier. Transitions on top nicely. And Looper finds himself down 11-0. Couple of takedowns and a near fall. And we're in major decision territory early in the second period. Bryson Hall staying on top, staying tough here. Working that lazy ride, that cross-face far arm. And now he's looking for a little bit of a barbed wire. If he can put 2-on-1 there. Looper able to posture away and get out. Bryson Hall now on that inside bar arm. Grinding tough on top. Looper, though, to his credit, is working himself out of these positions. He's working off the big ties and able to get back to his base. He's defending well. He's staying busy down there. Just a lot on top is Bryson Hall. He's a lot to deal with. Like I said, he's super strong. He's been super disciplined on top this match. Just staying in good position, not allowing anything to happen. And again, these Blackwell Maroons are dangerous. They've been tough from every position tonight, just really wrestling aggressive. And Bryson Hall smart here to keep him down with 10 seconds to go. Staying in control of this match, not allowing Looper to get an offense going, because you've seen what happens when those Maroons get that offense going. So Bryson Hall here with 5 seconds to go is going to finish on top as he's grinding away. Choice will go to Blackwell. Looks like they're going to go into the top position. Coach Connor Klein feels like that's going to be the best opportunity they have to maybe pull something off in this match. As we've seen, Blackwell are hammers on top, but Bryson Hall, again, straight to his feet. Hard to ride, hard to hold down, hard to keep down. Super, just stout here, just solid. It's going to be a stall warning against Looper. Hall trying to stay in bounds. Stall warning came because the top guy's responsibility when the bottom guy gets to his feet is to either return him or let him go. And Looper was just hanging on there. And Jerry Kuntz felt like he needed to let him go and didn't, so he gave a stall away. Hall gets right back to his feet. Faces, gets one. That's going to put him up 12-0. Takedown here will be a tech fall. So Bryson Hall needs one more takedown to finish this match. And Lane Looper's going to need something bigger than a takedown if he wants back in this match. Big-time double leg Bryson Hall. Looper trying to roll through. Make this difficult. Hall should be working to step over that leg, but it looks like we might be going for a stalemate here. No, Hall's making inches. He's working. He's just creeping inch by inch by inch. Looper's going to try to roll underneath and pull that leg over his head. Not able to. And that's going to be a tech fall for Bryson Hall to put the Blue Jays on the board. 5 points finally for the Blue Jays. Current score, Blue Jays 5 and the Maroons 51. Up next at 190 pounds.
190 pounds, Guthrie
Roston Usselton for the Blue Jays is going to take on Jason Osgood of the Maroons. Jason Osgood currently ranked a number 1 at 190 pounds in 3A. It's going to be taken on Roston Usselton of the Blue Jays, who is currently ranked number 3 in 5A at 190 pounds. Should see some parity here. A big-time shot by Lane Looper, and Usselton throwing heavy hips. Was able to fend it off for a bit. Osgood made an adjustment. Able to cut the corner and finish the takedown for 3 against Roston Usselton. Now Looper goes straight to work on a bar arm as he's running that chicken wing high. Usselton did well to get to his knees here. That's exactly what you want to do when a guy's running those. It's not that you can't run a chicken wing when a guy's on his knees. It's just harder to run a chicken wing. Roston now to his feet. Heavy face. And able to get the 1. Earn that escape. As he's back on his feet now, 3-1. Jason Osgood leads Roston Usselton. As these big boys go to heavy ties. Really, last match you started to see some size, but now you really see it. 190 pounds, 215 heavyweight. These are the big boys. Roston, big, heavy 190-pounder. Jason Osgood, another big, strong athlete. You see in their hips how big these guys are. Going to be some heavy collar ties. Things happen a little slower. They happen with a lot more force. In on another single leg. Outside single, got his head inside. Osgood trying to work forward. Roston's doing a good job with that crossface. You've seen the Maroons all night cross over for that double, and that's what he was waiting for. He's moving that leg. Roston hops around. Osgood able to cut that double. Seems like that's when the Maroons come up with that. They've been looking to cross to that double. And thought maybe Osgood tried to run the pipe there, but he was just waiting his chance to cut across that far leg and pick up 3 more. That's going to put Osgood up 6-1 over Roston Usselton. Usselton going to go down. Straight to his feet. Whistle move. Did a great job there on the whistle, getting to his feet. Big time lift by Jason Osgood. Puts Usselton back to the mat, but Usselton right back to an inside leg stand-up. Gets right back up. Osgood puts him right back down. And now Roston doing what Roston does. He's a scrambler. Not quite able to get out. Finds himself locked on bottom now here. As Osgood now going to work, staying heavy in hips. 1:30 to go in the second period. And now Usselton trying to work to his base. Osgood not really going to work too much here on top. Just happy to ride. Trying here now for a little bit of a lazy tilt. And Usselton able to get back to his feet. Osgood with another big lift in return. As they're trying to work their way out of bounds. Osgood's doing a good job just keeping his feet in bounds. If he keeps his feet in bounds, they'll keep wrestling. He just got to be careful he doesn't get called for stalling here. Usselton now got his foot in bounds as he's working to his feet. Now Usselton on the edge, able to get out. Nicely done by Usselton. Osgood. Here's a big-time double leg for Roston. Somehow Osgood rolls through and gets a single leg. Holy smokes. Off a big double leg by Usselton, Osgood rolls through, comes up with a single, and picks up 3 more. Well, Roston had done such a good job of just being patient there, able to get up, get away on the edge, comes back with a big double leg, and somehow Osgood comes up with a 3-point takedown. Back to his feet is Roston. Roston's doing a good job. He's battling on bottom and getting to his feet. He's doing a really good job here. Osgood being tough on top. He's being heavy. He's catching the arms. He's sitting on the legs. Osgood doing what he needs to do to stay in control. But Roston's not just laying there on bottom. He's actually continuing to work and to advance, making it hard on Osgood to score any points. It's sometimes when a guy lays on bottom, it's easy to score points. If a guy stays busy, it's all you can do to ride, and Roston's staying busy enough. Osgood's having trouble scoring. Currently 9-2. Jason Osgood of Blackwell is on bottom, currently winning. He's leading Roston Usselton of the Blue Jays, who's now on top. We're in the third period with 1:45 to go. Osgood now gets to a sit-out position and a turn in. He cuts back and gets the escape. And now Usselton's going to have to get to work. He's down 10-2. as he's given up 3 takedowns. Now he's working for big underhooks. Roston, no stranger to big matches, no stranger to crazy matches. This kid will go for broke when needed. As shown here, he's going for big double unders, trying to lock up some kind of a throw, something to feet to back, and Roston's the guy to do it if you need it. Osgood ranked number 1 in the state in 3A, probably going to be a hard one to do that to, but don't put it past Roston to keep going. He's ranked number 3 for a reason. He's had some big wins, big come from behind wins even last weekend. So he's working here with 58 seconds left to go in the third. He's going to have to make something big happen because a takedown is not going to do it. Back points are not going to do it. He's going to have to go for the fall. Osgood in on a nice single leg. Roston does a good job with heavy hips. Knocking that down. Roston tries to shuck and go behind. Osgood again, crafty enough to catch that leg. He did it earlier on the double leg, and now he's back in on that single a second time. Roston's got the back ankle. Roston grabbed that back foot, put it on his butt, but didn't have the ankle. He kind of had the foot, turned the foot, works against the joint. Larry Kuntz has to stop that match for potentially dangerous. We're back on our feet here. Roston now sucking up those double underhooks, and he's good there. But Osgood doing a good job just blocking here and staying away. Stall call's not going to win it, so Osgood will be smart to just stay away. But no, he goes right back in on a single leg to seal this deal up. Nicely done there by Jason Osgood to keep Roston off him. You might as well shoot in. Roston, though, fights till the bitter end, as always. And a good showing, a fun little matchup there at 190 pounds. A lot more parity than we've seen in some of the matches. We've had some good ones tonight. That was another good one. And we're going to move on to 215 pounds. Cruz Golf, the best wrestler at 215 pounds in the state, is going to pick up a forfeit for the Maroons.
215-pound Blackwell Cruz Golf receives a forfeit.
And then we are going to move up to heavyweight, where Stoney Hudson is going to take on Sir William Morgan of the Blue Jays.
285, Guthrie, Sir William Morgan for Blackwell, Stoney Hudson.
Sir William's going to take on Stoney Hudson of the Maroons. Big time takedown here to his back. And before we get graphics, Stoney picks up a big time lift, bear hug to a fall. And that's going to put 6 more points on the board for the Maroons. We're going to finish this duel off tonight. The Blackwell Maroons showing why they are the number 3 ranked team in the state in 3A, possibly one of the best top 5 teams, definitely a top 10 team in the state overall. Very impressive performance by the Maroons against the Blue Jays. Tough night out for the Blue Jays, but they battled hard. A lot of fun matches, especially at 120 pounds. Possibly the match of the night was that one. We had another good one at 165 pounds. And then the 190-pound match was a lot of fun as well. A lot of good stuff going on. I do think 138 was another good one. So there were some good matchups here where there was some parity. A lot of highly ranked guys against some new guys. Made it a rough night for the Blue Jays, but definitely all Maroons tonight for sure. As we are tearing things down here, we'll do a quick little post-game show, I guess a post-match show. And we'll pull up some graphics here. So tonight it was all about the Maroons. They looked great on their feet. Really the transitions that they pulled from their feet. A lot of takedowns, and then they transitioned from one finish to another. They did a nice job there. Really the Blue Jays, when they were fighting off, attack 1, the Maroons came back with attack 2, and then they got on top and did what Blackwell is known for, and that is heavy offense from the top position. and there was a lot of offense from the top position from the Maroons. So we will cap this off real quick. I got to go back to my phone, guys. I apologize. I don't have, well, it's dead. I'll try to do the best I can on these lineups, but a lot of distractions here on this broadcast. I'm kind of sitting out in the middle of the floor, so we got people all around us. I'm trying not to get our equipment knocked down, but anyway, we'll wrap things up tonight. Just a quick little post game. Just want to give my hats off to our camera girl, Lindsay Silvis. Want to thank her for always coming alongside and giving you guys the best shots from Matt's side. Wyatt Wager Silvis was over here running the scoreboard and the graphics for you guys. And I am Sean Silvis, as always, bringing you guys Guthrie Wrestling and really Oklahoma wrestling in the state. We love to promote things here. Just want to give a special shout out tonight to Seth Robbins and TIG Insurance for sponsoring the Guthrie Wrestling team. They were able to purchase bags for our team, and it was such a big deal for this. We've got a lot of wrestlers at the high school and the junior high and the girls program now, and we don't have a place to put all this new gear that we're getting. So it's hard to keep track of things, and especially for the high school, the bags that TIG bought, it allows them when they travel to pack all their stuff. They've got all their gear, all their food. They got singlets for days. They've got their warm-ups. They got their sweats, all the things that it takes to live in a gymnasium for 2 days in a row, plus traveling, plus on the buses, just all the things. They've got a lot of stuff they've got to bring, and it's been a huge impact. We got those bags in last week, and Seth called. He said, how can I help? And we said, man, this would be a huge blessing. And Seth said, let's do it. We're happy to help out our Guthrie community, and this time our Guthrie wrestlers. Just want to give a special thank you to TIG for helping out with that. Seth has always been, and TIG, the guys there, they're always so supportive of Guthrie sports, and we're just so happy that they were willing to help out this year for our wrestlers. So Seth, thank you so much. The wrestling team really appreciates it. They look good. This is the first event since Christmas, and they got these bags on. You can see them in the background right here on Wyatt. They look awesome. They work awesome. The guys really love carrying those. Like I say, this is the first one. They said these things are awesome. They're working out great. It was allowed us to, we were able to outfit the high school, and then we were able to pass some bags down to the junior high. Now the junior high has matching bags that they can wear to the duels, and then obviously now the girls have enough that they need. So it's really been a huge deal just for this growing team. We're outgrowing what we have as far as gear goes and things like that. So such a contribution is helpful, and really all of our sponsors, it has been great. It's been allowing our gear to grow with our teams, just with everything our sponsors have done. We really, really appreciate all that. Just want to do one last shout out and thank you to the Blackwell Maroons for being so accommodating. They literally allow me to just set up right beside the edge of the mat. In years past, we've had to be up top, really hard to see from, like the sound, or from the booth, if you will. And this year, we're right down on the floor, right in front of the action. They plugged us in. They gave us Wi-Fi. They made this all possible. Really have been awesome. Gave us the lineups, just all the things you hope a away team will do, they did in spades. So we really want to thank them. Thank the community here. Just so happy for them. They got new mats. They got a new wrestling room. Obviously, they are poised to win a state title this year. And so that is exciting for them, I'm sure. Just want to thank all you guys for tuning in, and want to thank all of our Blue Jay fans for continuing to support our wrestling program. Not the outcome we wanted tonight. We knew it was going to be a tough out, but this week, tune in tomorrow as we are home at the we're going to be home at the junior high, and we're going to be doing a tri-duel. That's going to be a long broadcast, probably for 4 hours. The junior high, the high school, and the girls are all going to compete on 2 different mats against Tuttle and against El Reno, and El Reno is also going to take on Tuttle. So there's going to be 3 duels. It's a tri-duel. It's going to be a crazy night in the middle school gymnasium. Hopefully you guys can make it out to support your Blue Jays. If not, I'll have that action live here on the Guthrie News page as well. And then Thursday night, we've got another home duel against Duncan. That's going to feature just the high school wrestlers. No junior high, no girls, just the high school. Going to be a quick duel. They're going to come in and duel probably around 6 or 7. We'll post that official time. Duncan is going to be traveling through. And so once we get that time nailed down, we'll get that set, and we will be getting that live to you as well. Just want to give you guys one other update. Our boosters and the sponsors have picked up a new wrestling mat that we will be featuring tomorrow at the Duel in Blackwell. So make sure you tune in to see that or stop by and see. It's an awesome Blue Jay. We've got a huge bird in the center of that mat. It's going to be awesome. We're looking so forward to debuting that, and we will give special shout-outs to the sponsors that help make that happen. Just, again, want to thank all of our Guthrie fans, all the Blackwell fans that tune in as well. We want to thank you guys for being so accommodating. We want to wish you guys luck at state. You guys have a team that is going to be tough to beat. And again, just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Chris Evans, thank you for all the graphics at home. Behind the scenes, he has been working his tail off to make all this work, and we want to thank our friends there as well. And until next time, actually until tomorrow, we'll see you guys. Go Blue Jays.